right. Welcome to the Rockaway Creates Connection podcast. Today we're having a special plants masterclass with Gardener and Artist Carolin Wood. Welcome to the show, Carolin.
Thank you. Yay. Thank you for having me, Dana.
Absolutely. So first, a little bit about Carolin. Carolin earned her master's in fine arts, her MFA, in sculpture from Queens College, and she relocated from Brooklyn to Rockaway to be closer to nature and the ocean. I think like many of us have. And the move was part of her continuous learning and unlearning, working through her experiences as a woman who has experienced and survived both foster care system and domestic violence. She navigates this growth process through her sketchbooks and photo collaging, turning to the medium's immediacy, approachability, and flexibility. A single mother and a native Ohioan farm girl at heart, she considers her two children as her biggest inspirations and muses. Working with painting, sculpture, and collage, her art is strongly influenced by the matriarchal presence of her late grandmother and the nurturing natural surroundings of her childhood in rural Ohio. She creates in the early mornings before tending to her work as a gardener for New York City parks. So thank you so much for being here. We're excited to learn about plants, and it's also in preparation for our plant swap that will be coming up on Thursday, September 14th from 6:30 to 8 on Carolin's veranda. So welcome, Carolin. First of all, can you just tell us a little bit about a day in the life of you as a gardener?
Oh, excuse me. Yes. Lately, I've been hitting the alarm a few times, and I'm getting out of bed at 6 a.m. And it's been hard lately to get motivated because of the heat and everything. And but I'm at work by 7. I work 7 to 3:30, and in between, like when I have breaks or my lunch break, then I'm usually drawing or collaging or just putting little notes down. So maybe thinking about plants and humans and making connections, or just like diary entries too, since that's what sketchbooks are. They're just big journals but with pictures in them sometimes.
I can relate to what you're saying. It's been like I've been drinking more coffee lately than I usually do. I've been like needing that little extra like pick me up to get going. When you say like, so you work from 7 to 3:30, like what does that look like? I know sometimes there's weeding involved. Like,
oh yeah, so lately it's just lots of weeding because we need more gardeners out here, and the weeds are monstrous because of all the rain we've been having. I mean, I love the rain. It's much better than last year. Like last year, that was awful with the drought. But yeah, the weeds are like as tall as me, and I'm going into these beds, and some of them get really neglected. Like I really haven't touched that bed for a year because I just don't have enough hands or time to do all of it. We haven't been doing much planting. Our budget has not allowed us to get a bunch of nice plants, but I have been doing something dealing with this when I'm like, so there's 4 different forms of propagation. So one is, and I'm just like, oh, this is interesting. I actually do this at work. So there's certain bushes where if something is weighted down on them, they will actually create roots. So all it is it's just helping with more. And so there's something that we can all do, like even in our own garden. That's why propagating is so great, because it's free.
It's
free.
Yeah.
And so it's just like something weighted on the branch, and the branch will actually create roots. So when I'm in some of these garden beds and they'll be weighed down with rocks or large amounts of leaves, because like I said, it's been like a year. It's great because then you can just cut it, and then you can move it to, a bare spot or wherever you want. So then that way you can continue with, your ground covering, and also so you don't have as many weeds that you don't, want around there.
I see. So you plant the plants you want to be there with this weighted method. You could put a rock or something, and then there'll be less weeds that pop up there.
An intentional thing. But like I said, with parks, it's not really intentional, but it's great because I'm like, oh, I can fill in that little hole there that got taken over by weeds.
Yeah, for people that are listening and watching that have their own gardens, like, and want to do like a refresh, like, is that the first step, is like get rid of the weeds?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just like clean, think about it as your house, and you just want to clean it all out. It's going to clear your head. It's going to make everything better. And then you can figure out what you need to go where. And I know this time of year, it's mostly like just watering. You can do planting if you want, but you're going to also have to make sure that you're doing that. That's why spring or even fall is the best time to be planting. I actually prefer fall because the plants are really inexpensive and nobody thinks about that. They just think of spring and like, oh, pretty flowers. But fall is actually the best time, I think, because then you can also just be using, working with your environment instead of against it. Like, this time of year, like this is good. If you want to do like, you want to get a fall vegetable garden going, this is great. There's a lot of fall plants that you can get in, but I prefer that time of year. But for propagating and things, they're really like water propagating is great. So like if you have, your pothos is probably growing crazy right now with all the sun, like you can, and they're so pretty.
What are those called?
Oh, this is pothos. Like these are so easy to grow. You see them all over. And then there's also the philodendron.
Are those both indoor plants?
These are indoor plants. Yeah. So a lot of the outdoor plants, it's not a good time for propagation, other than, like I said, if you see branches and they start to take root, like great, then you most definitely can do that. But dividing is usually something that is done in the early spring before they start to spread out. But you can kind of see like it starts to have little babies and you can just split it. So one example of dividing is like your aloe vera plants.
Oh yeah.
So this is a dividing. So I actually did this yesterday. I took my big mother aloe vera and then I separated them. So for the plant swap, you guys can have some of my aloe vera, and they're so great. I mean, all houseplants are great for breathing. Like I have terrible asthma, and with all these fires that have been going on, like, oh, my lungs.
Yeah.
But this is great. So more houseplants, the better.
Okay, hold on. With aloe, so I have an aloe vera. Yes. I don't think she's very happy.
She's not happy? Maybe can I see her?
Yes.
Are you too embarrassed?
Yes, I'm gonna go get her. I have to go leave my desk and go grab her. But I guess what's like in general, like what's the best way to take care of an aloe plant that's inside in Rockaway? And I'm gonna get it.
Okay. Maybe, it looks like maybe she's overwatered, and also maybe the soil. Maybe the soil, yeah. You could probably split them up too,
Oh, so I can propagate my aloe vera. So I'll bring an aloe vera to the plant swap.
So this is real. I'm just like, let me tell you. So aloe vera is asexual.
Oh, right.
Isn't that cool? Because an aloe vera doesn't need flowers to reproduce. It is a parent itself. It's a single parent. It's a single mom. Yeah. So they're awesome because I was just telling Dana before this, with parks, we have it's like sensitivity training. So it was about gender and also just gender identification. And I love learning about new things. And I was the whole entire time I'm in this class, and my children love to inform me too about everything new going on, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. But the fascinating thing is, I was like, it's a lot like plants. Like plants are 95%, 94% actually they are both sexes. So that's why I think it's so fascinating that there's like such a hubbub about like,
right, they, them, and
everything else is
binary.
You can be called whatever you want, and I'll call you. I don't have any problem. Like,
yeah,
however you feel like. And I wish people would look at it that way, just like with the plant world. And also, plants or trees, more trees, they will change gender with trauma. And I'm just like, oh, that's interesting too, especially with like living out in Rockaway. It's like the peninsula of like single mom world. It's like so many of us, we've had to like be like, okay, we're going to take on this other role. And it's like the male and female, role. And I just think it's fascinating how a tree decides like, okay, I'm going to flower this year and be a female.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
to keep.
I love that parallel.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. So, okay, you mentioned there's a couple different types of propagation. So there's the branch meeting the earth and then regrowing its own roots. Mm-hmm. And then there's the water one, which you showed us with that, your little baby there.
Little baby.
And then what's another way? What's some of the other ways?
Okay, so the dividing, that's the one where it's in the early spring most of the time. I mean, you can do it during this time, but like I said, you're probably going to stress them out a little bit. And then some of the fun ones is grafting. Grafting is my favorite. I've never actually done it, but I want one. I want a grafted tree. So if anybody wants to give me one, I'll take it. So like if you ever see someone have a fruit tree, like an apple tree, and it has like 4 different kinds of apples on it, that is a grafted tree. So they decided like, oh, you know what? I want a Granny Smith. I want Macintosh.
So it's genetically modified.
It's completely, and it is transformed by the branches. And then it is cut in a manner like a little jigsaw, like a little puzzle piece. And then they stick it in together and then they tape it up. And they say you got to use grafting tape, but let me tell you, you could probably use electrical tape. No one's going to know. Okay.
So, all right. So if anybody out there who's coming to the plant swap, and you have a grafting tree situation, Carolin's
drop it off on my porch.
So, okay, I have some spider plants. These I have right here. And my 2 cats, Chance and Sassy, have been eating them.
Oh.
And that's why they're a little bit little short. They've gotten like a little mow down because Sassy and Chance keep eating them. I've looked it up. It's technically, safe for cats. It's just a mild hallucinogenic. Sassy's more into it than Chance is, but I feel like they get bored, and then I don't know. I think they eat the part that I could propagate from, because I know what you're talking about. Sometimes there's like a little piece that comes off that looks like it's growing again. Mm-hmm. If that's not happening, can I still propagate them or not really?
You might be able to it looks like you could just split it, but yeah, they ate your babies.
Yeah.
The babies.
So I could split this and share with somebody?
Yeah, okay. You can split it. Yeah, right. Sure. So yeah, this was one of the babies that was just, and I just stuck that in the ground yesterday.
So you took a part of the plant and you just replanted it.
Yeah.
With nice soil.
Would your cats like catnip or like the cat grass?
Yeah, it's so crazy. Literally any plant I bring in the house, Sassy immediately goes to it and tries to eat it. And when I grow her own little special cat grass patch, she doesn't even look at it. Sunflower, when I have sunflowers behind me, when the sunflowers are in my house, I can't even walk in the door. She's like, yes, sunflowers. um, but kitty grass, she's like, nah, I'm good.
She's like, you can have it. It's all right.
You can have that one. So I don't know. After a couple of attempts of growing cat grass and them not even looking at it, I stopped. But I'm hoping that the spider plants will come back to life. What else? What else is like plants that do well in Rockaway for indoor?
Oh, indoor. I mean, well, like a snake plant that does really well. This arrowhead philodendron. Let me see here. What else? I have African violets. They just keep having babies too. They're I ignore them. A lot of neglects over here. Like, the peace lily. Like, there's a lot of the common ones for sure. But I mean, if you want to know some of the outdoor plants, I can tell you those, especially with working for parks. So, okay, yucca for sure.
Oh,
Fragrant sumac. And let me tell you, the yucca, you can actually, I've never done it, but I love watching the black forager, and she makes a feast with all kinds of stuff, but she says that you can eat the yucca and it tastes like asparagus,
I eat yucca.
Oh, are you talking like the yucca root or the yummy.
Oh, but this is different. You're talking about something else.
When you see the big spiky things growing up like all over Rockaway, like those guys, and then it has the big shoot, and then it has like the white flowers on it, like that. Let me see, Rosa rugosa, that's beach rose. I love those because they grow all over the place, and the rose hips, you can make oils out of them, you can eat them, you can make a jam.
Ooh, nice.
Tea. That's what, if you see rose hip tea, that's what it is. And then the petals themselves, they're wonderful. It's like vitamin C. Put it in your water. I like to do that.
Awesome.
And you get 2 times with them. Same thing with knockout roses. They will bloom in the beginning of the season and then also in the fall. So you just got to cut them and then you're good to go.
Oh.
And let me see here. Sumac grows out here.
Okay.
That's great. And you can cut the berries and you can make sumacade out of it, so it tastes like pink lemonade.
Oh, nice.
Just clean the bugs off. Just get the bugs off. But make sure it's the I can't remember how to do it. I don't think the poisonous sumac is out here.
Okay. But beware of it.
Yeah, maybe just look that part up. I wish I had some on me right now to explain it. But anyway, you take the berries off. It's kind of syrupy a little bit, but yeah, you can make things out of that. That's delicious. Wait, what? Oh, so Pravaskia, which is Russian sage, that you'll see that like in the parks all over the place. That's great. And
can you burn that?
Can you burn that one? Oh, like no.
Like sage? Like
yeah,
white
sage? I know. I wish we did have that. But they always say you could make mugwort smudges, and mugwort is all over the place out here. So we could do that sometime too if you would like.
I would love to make some mugwort smudges.
Yeah, you can roll it, and you can even put some of the rose petals in it. You can put some. They always say you should put, for grounding, you should use what is around you, and the sage isn't really around here. So.
Right, exactly.
But I do like it too. It smells good.
You mentioned earlier that there's like some plants that are good to plant in the fall, and they're a little cheaper. Like, where do you like to buy your plants, and what type of plants would be good to plant in the next couple months?
Oh, okay. So let me think about my garden. There's some good ones. I mean, the nurseries around. I love going to the nursery in Five Towns. They're great. They're incredibly knowledgeable. But also just even going to Lowe's, they have sales, and I don't think they really advertise it. I just I have no shame. I ask. I'm like, is this on sale? This is on sale because it's the end of the season, and especially when it's not blooming anywhere, like the flower. It's like they want to get rid of it. They want to push. They want to get the new inventory in, a lot of places, and they just. But let me think here. What
Like the Lowe's over in Marine Park?
I've never been to that one. I just think the one in Five Towns. I usually go there. That for some reason or another, the Lowe's there costs less for most things.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, but I would stick to the perennials. Try not to get annuals at the end of the season, or unless you want for fall, your fall garden, like the wow factor. Because that's what all annuals are. They're just, they just add splashes of color in between, when things are not on, on show at the moment. So I just think about Rebecca, which is black-eyed Susans, coneflower, echinacea, things that are good for like a pollinator garden. And also, just around the neighborhood, like if you can. I know not everybody's blessed with having like a yard, but even if you have like, pots, it's nice.
What about, you also mentioned a fall vegetable garden. Would that be something to be inside or has to be outside?
Oh, inside? Oh, for vegetable garden, it would have to be outside unless you're using like herbs.
Yeah.
Herbs, then you can have them inside and on your windowsill.
Which herbs do well?
Oh, out here? Well, we had that crazy flood. A lot of my stuff died. But I learned from my neighbors, they were telling me next time that happens, because, they've lived here way longer than me, they said hose it all down.
And rinse it off.
The brackish water will clean it out. Because I killed my lavender, my lemon balm. I don't know. I think sometimes my lemon balm, I got to find a new place for it. I love that stuff. That's really good for tea. A friend gave it to me. Her place, it just grows like a weed, but mine, I'm like, And then in some spots, like I have some dill popping up, but it was not in the spot where I put it.
And do you add anything special to your soil? Like, what kind of soil do you get? Do you add coffee to it?
I add coffee. I honestly, I am a lazy gardener at home, but that's just because, you know how it goes. Like the cobbler has the holes in his shoes. Well, I come home and I'm just like, oh, I'm a little done with this right now. But I just throw my coffee grinds out into the yard, or I try to hit a spot, or I have the city compost bin. Have the stuff in there. I have eggshells and things, but most of it I give them my chickens. But before I had chickens, I just had my raised beds and I just threw all of it in there.
Yeah.
And that I didn't worry about it. And then whenever I had leaves, I just threw my leaves in there. And let me tell you, my soil was amazing. But now, being so lucky to have my chickens, I use my chicken poop and I mix it in with the soil, and then I'll spread it when I need fertilizer.
So you make your own, basically.
Make my own, yeah. But for people who don't, or if you want to come over, I'll give you a bag of chicken poop. Yeah,
that's a great option.
Yeah. But you gotta mix it. You have to mix it in with soil.
Yeah.
But then I learned from my friend who her father has pigeons. This is so cool. He says that pigeon poop is like gold because I wonder if she's watching me right now. But it was the funniest thing because with the pigeon poop, you could actually just put it directly in your garden and don't even have to. You just toss it in there, Yeah, but with chicken, you have to mix it a little bit.
And do you have to worry about, like, are there any animals that come and eat your plants?
Oh, no. I don't know what. Yeah, I thought I was going to have some problems, but no. No, that's not true. There's this one squirrel. He's a pain in the butt. He gets up there. He just takes a bite and he just tosses it. I think he would rather have a slice of pizza.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
We're not
Like,
that
what
healthy
is this?
squirrels out here. Yeah.
Exactly. Same thing with raccoons. I thought the raccoons were really going to bother my chickens. They don't care. It's just like, that's too much work.
Yeah. Yeah, they're urban. They're like, nah.
Blood all over the place, feathers.
And does your garden attract like any birds that come through?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I have some. Actually there's this dead tree in my neighbor's yard and we've had woodpeckers there. That was pretty awesome. I have some cardinals, I got some blue jays. I have some mockingbirds that will stop by and they just look at me. I think one was trying to court me at one time. I thought it was kind of cute.
Oh my goodness. So is there anything else you'd like to tell us about propagation or the plant swap that people should know?
Let me think here. I don't know. Maybe if you guys have maybe bring containers.
Yeah.
Just so we don't. Oh, look at you.
And
Yeah.
bring some pots. Recommend
Bring some pots and I can't think of anything else.
I have a question. So I recently was gifted these.
Oh,
Are these helpful for something? What can you use these for?
Are those little baby trellises?
Yeah.
Or are they fences? Oh, it looks like for the garden edge, right?
I was told they're trellises, but
they look like
like
trellises.
little fences.
Yeah, they're cute. They're cute. Like for fairy garden trellis. I love it.
So what could you use these for?
What could you use them for?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out the scale of them exactly.
Like the size of my head.
They're the size of your head. I think that's more
like
for
tomatoes or something.
No, like little bonsai tomatoes.
Okay,
but they're adorable. It looks like it's edging.
Yeah. Okay, it's more like a little fence.
Yeah.
Okay. I think they might be able to like stack into each other, so they get.
Oh, they stack into each other. Yeah. Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So then they get.
Yeah. No, but I mean, oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so it is. It really is like a trellis.
I think so. Yeah.
It's a portable trellis.
It's a portable. See, it gets taller. It grows. These grow.
They grow. That's kind of a cool idea, though, because then you're like, oh, look, hey, my vine is getting taller. I'm going to do
that. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing all this information with us about plants and about you. And super excited to be joining for our next event at the veranda, the Sip and Swap. And so join us on Thursday, September 14th from 6:30 to 8. All the details are on our website, rockawaycreates.org, under events. And then you can click on the Eventbrite and find the address and all the details, or also on our Facebook page. And, bring a plant, bring something to sip on, bring something to share. If you have any pots you can bring for yourself or to share, to donate, that would be helpful. There's a woman who makes pottery. So we're going to ask her to maybe sell some of her beautiful pottery plant pots that she's made, her ceramics, and we'll see you then. Thank you.
Can you start with an A?
I'm forgetting her name at the moment, but I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Exciting. I love a good pot.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you all next time. Bye for now.
Thank you, Dana.
Thank you.